Well, hello and welcome back. I'm Joanne. I know my lives are all over the place. I actually thought I'd recorded this and realized I hadn't hit record. So I thought, well, if I'm going to have to do it again, I may as well do it live and speak to everybody. So I hope you're all doing well. Yesterday, I talked about or mentioned that there was an administrative listing. Well, the orders from that listing have come about. Hello, the Fox. How are you all? So the orders have come about from that. So we're going to have a look at that and then look at and let's have a look at that. Okay, so yesterday we had the administrative listings. And it was a pre-hearing, so with the registrar, not for publication, and so it was an administrative listing. I have an excuse not to do dishes for a bit. Huh? So we're going to have a look at what happens. So with administrative listings, just like this one with Justice Rares, it's quite often that it will appear in chambers. They don't have, there's written documentation, or usually it's by consent. So let's have a look and see what this was about yesterday. What did Register Quidland order? So yesterday, so remember we've got the applicant. Now it's interesting that this has got the second respondent because Google asked to amend the document so that they were the respondent, but they're actually now the first respondent because Shanks doesn't appear. So leave to be granted to the parties to inspect and copy in the registry the documents produced on the 15th of December 2021 in accordance with the subpoena addressed to the New South Wales Treasury. So on the 15th of December, there was a subpoena returned from New South Wales Treasury. So those documents are sitting in the court and the parties want to they've actually asked permission from the court to go and inspect them and take copies. So this is what this is all about. So leave to be granted to solicitors for the parties to uplift these documents physically and or electronically for the purposes of inspection and copying on the following conditions. So they're allowed to take uplift. They're allowed to actually take the package of documents for the purpose of inspection and copying. If the original documents rather than copies have been produced, the solicitor provides to the registry a letter of consent from the person to whom the subpoena is addressed. Okay, so if they're not copies and they're originals, they have to have consent from the person the subpoena was addressed to. Documents not leave the custody of the solicitor or counsel instructed by the solicitor. So they're not allowed to leave the office. They have to, the person, the solicitor or the counsel is responsible for those documents. Documents to be returned to the registry in the same condition, order, and packaging as when uplifted. Okay, so they can't have coffee stains or chocolate marks or anything. They've got to be, returned the exact same way as if nobody ever looked at the documents. Documents must be returned promptly and in any event when an officer of the registry so requests. So it may, they're given a certain time limit to do it. However, if the registry decides that they want them back earlier, that they will return them. On the completion of this matter, the registrar may return to the addressee of the subpoena any document without giving the issuing party any further notice. So at the end of the day, the registrar may just return the documents to the New South Wales Treasury and he doesn't have to inform the parties. So this was on the 7th of February. So let's look at our timeline. So tomorrow there is a return of another subpoena. We're going to return of a subpoena. Is it tomorrow or is it today? No, it's today at 9:30. Another subpoena has been returned at 9:30. So that's happening as we speak, or has happened. All of this, whatever's in here from New South Wales Treasury, I'm assuming, yeah, they've got they've got lots of documents to get through. That's right. And I don't know how big the bundle from New South Wales Treasury is. And we don't know what was in the subpoena. That, remember, Shanks had ordered all these subpoenas. And most of them, from what I can work out, many of them were returned, as you do. So both parties now want to look at, see what's in the Treasury documents to see if there's anything in there. And then don't forget, this is all. So we got the 9th of February. So today, we've got another subpoena being returned. This all gets ready for showtime, the 21st of March. Who thought we would get, I mean, it is an old trick. Remember Erin Condren? Yes. So I remember when this first came and we first started looking at this case, we thought that the 21st of March was going to be such a long, long way away. Well, it's not such a long, long way away now. And it's only next month. And so we get ready. So we're on the countdown to showtime. At this stage, it looks like it's in person, and I don't think that it'll be recorded. And I don't think, as I said, I've got one of these days is my graduation days, and I don't know which day it is. And, you know, I'm going to Google Smart. Well, hey, don't forget that there are Google apps now that will read aloud to you. They could have it. They could scan it and have the app read it back to them, so they're actually doing it all. So you know, they could all be listening to it at bedtime. But Google, you know, I don't know. If I was Bruz, if it was me, I would not be taking it this far. I want to know where he's getting his money. I'm wondering whether he's been able to find a blind trust like Mr. Porter. Yeah, they are terrible voices, worse than Stephen Hawking's. Well, you know, maybe Bobby the robot cat needs to read them for them. So, but yeah, if you look at all the documents that have been filed, so this has been going on since the 27th of May, 2021. So we'll just have a look at these documents. There's been some dough spent here. Now that Mr. Barilaro, now that Mr. Bruzman, Bobby would wear. I know I'd listen to it if it was Bobby. Mr. Bruzman. So we had the original application on the 27th of May. Then we had all of Shanks. Then we had Barilaro, Shanks, and then Google. Google came in on the 12th of August. And then we've got more and more and more. And then we've got subpoenas here that Shanks ordered, submissions, an application from Bruz, discontinuance as far as Shanks is concerned. And then we get into where it's just Google. Google has joined a new. So there's a lot of money that has been spent to this point. Now, remembering that in the case that Porter lost and Chris Santhu, who is Bruz's lawyer and Porter's lawyer, barrister, they've just been ordered to pay $400,000 in costs to the party that beat them. So I can't imagine what on earth Bruz's costs will be if he loses to Google. And don't forget, this is, in my opinion, this is going to be, this could be really defining, particularly for YouTube in Australia, because if, for example, Bruz wins, Google then could be held responsible for stuff that content creators produce, and they're going to have to claim, their TOS. They're going to have to put people on just to look at people's TOS, particularly in Australia. So this is, I can see why Google is throwing all this money behind, because Google's trying to say that it does have arm's length, it has rules, it has policies. If they can find that clearly breaches rules. I mean, one of Google's arguments was they asked for proof of defamation by bruz and they weren't given any. You know, how is this defamatory? You actually have to tell us, how has this defamed you? And yet in all of Google's documents, they've said this statement was made, this was said by bruz on, this refers to this newspaper article, this is how Shakes got to that conclusion. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this plays out. But, you know, it could be particularly when you've got the government trying to silence criticism online. You know, they're really not wanting people. And you've got Dutton threatening to sue an ex-politician who came out and said that he believed that it was Dutton that spoke badly of the Prime Minister. And Dutton says, well, I'm going to sue Bob Carr. It's like, really? That's the only way, it seems, that the government can sort out their problems. Well, don't forget, Sky News in Australia had some of their videos taken down because they were in breach of TOS as well. So Sky News is a perfect example that if you do the wrong thing, they will pull your videos. And in fact, Sky had a ban for 7 days, if you remember rightly, and that there was a big outcry over that. But it seems to be that the way that this government, on the outset, deals with stuff is that they sue everybody. No wonder Dutton, or was it Frydenberg, talked about having a slush fund of government coffers so that politicians can sue people. Well, didn't Dutton sued somebody for defamation? You had Porter sue the ABC for defamation. You had Laming sue for defamation. You've had, is that 4? And we can just keep going and going and going. And they just seem to want to sue everybody for defamation, rather than do what normal people do and have a conversation with them. Or thicken their skin. Now, have you noticed, though, that Shanks now is still using the voice, but to different politicians? Have you noticed that? So it's very clever, because bruz can't say it's directed at him. I agree, the Fox. If politicians want to sue, they drop parliamentary privilege. And this is what a lot of this is about, you know, parliamentary privilege. So that's how I see the one today. Which one today? Which one today? I mean, I know. Okay. I haven't seen it yet. I need to have a look. I'll have to have a look at it. I'll watch it after this. So, and I also find it's very, very interesting, after denying that there was that Brittany Higgins, there was anything had happened with Brittany Higgins, that the Prime Minister has apologised to Brittany Higgins. Now, again, that's in Parliament. That apology can't be used against her accuser, I think. So that's really quite sad. So, oh, really? All right, thanks for the warning. So I will post the Friendly Geordies clip in here to have a look, but I don't know. But the Fox has said, take a bathroom break before the clip. Oh dear. Oh. Really? Oh, all right. Means it's going to be good. I have to say, some of his ones of recent times have been gold. You know, have been absolute gold, I have to admit. It wasn't apology, it was more save my bacon speech. Of course it was. It was. So I saw that somebody had made a list of all the politicians, all the federal cabinet ministers, and had put next to it whether they had denied sending the text. The only male, well, there's only a few cabinet ministers. I sort of said Frydenberg, but that seems to be, yeah, I still think it's him, in my opinion. I don't know. But I don't think there's any love lost between him and Morrison, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. So, all right. Well, and I bought a second screen. So thank you, everybody who have joined membership, liked the videos, subscribed to the channel, watched them. Thank you to all of you, because I was able to buy a new screen with my YouTube earnings. So it's really good, and it's got really, got really good definition. So thank you, everybody. I'm really trying to improve what I do. And so the YouTube money does go to some way to help with that. So I wanted to also finish that. So I'm going to end it now. As I said, I thought this was going to be a recording, but I've hit the wrong button, and I was talking to myself before, which is nothing new. I'd say that's true too. The Fox, I think you get more out of a toddler than anyone in the LRP. Was really interesting. I mean, even with the whole Djokovic debate, when I spoke to children about it, they were so onto it, and they were so adamant. They knew exactly. They said, no, he shouldn't play. He shouldn't play. He's not vaccinated. He shouldn't play. It was a really simple, cut and dry question for them. Shouldn't be allowed. Shouldn't be allowed. And yet you had all these people pandering and everything. So very interesting. Anyway, I'm going to catch you all later, and I will speak to you soon. So I'm trying to work out a new schedule, because I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights from 6 o'clock. I'm doing freight handling. Monday nights I have choir. So it looks like it might be weekends that I'll be on live for our usual chats. I'm still trying to work things out. Uni starts soon, next month as well. So I'm going to do my best, but definitely I'll keep recording stuff, putting stuff up. I just uploaded a Melissa Caddick video. The police have sought an AVO to stop her husband from getting a private investigator involved. That's very interesting. I mean, I would have thought anything that would help find her would be, but I think there's more to it than that. And it looks like her parents are losing their home. So, which is quite sad. But anyway, we can call Joanne and the Fox. Yeah. So I want to thank you all for watching. And, if you're in the replay crew, say hello, hit like, subscribe, do whatever. And thank you all for joining me. And I will catch you hopefully sooner, live rather than later. Bye for now.